Avengers Doomsday has a lot of buzz going around it. Well, because, you know, it's the Avengers. And I think no matter what, Avengers movies will just do good in general because, well, that's my point I just said. Now, although it has a lot of hype, I really just don't think this movie's going to do what it's supposed to do, which is try and tell us a good Avengers story. Now, for those of you who are living under a rock, basically, and don't know anything about this movie, I don't know why you clicked on this video, but thank you. This movie is about Doom being mad about everyone kind of going back in time, messing with the timeline to alter their own lives, aka what he calls stolen lives, which will then lead us into Secret Wars and then most likely Battle World and that whole thing. Now, my main issue here is that I feel like we have zero setup for this movie. Now, don't get me wrong, I know what they're doing here. They're combining what we've seen over the past, 20 or so more years of X-Men movies, past Marvel movies, like everything like that is technically build up for this movie, but let's be real right now. That's just to get you hyped for this movie. That does not mean it's gonna have a good story. This is nostalgia bait. More on that in a bit. There just doesn't feel like there's any proper setup here, and when you look at the first 3 sagas of the MCU, there's just feel like perfect building blocks off of one another that lead us to Infinity War and Endgame. And here we feel like we have some really weird building blocks that kind of force themselves to fit together, that kind of fit, but explodes in a way into one big mess. Is that a good analogy? I don't freaking know. Now listen, I genuinely hope that they prove me wrong here. I have faith that I will be proven wrong. And I might. Who knows? Now, for those of you who don't know, we were supposed to have Avengers the Kang Dynasty before Avengers Doomsday was coming out. That was what it was originally set up to be, and what everything was leading towards with Loki and Ant-Man Quantumania and just a bunch of those kind of projects. And we were also setting up the Kid Avengers, which, honestly, I'm not mad that they're letting that go because... But with all this, they really had to pivot what the MCU was doing, and it's kind of a whole debacle with Jonathan Majors, which... I don't know, that's a whole different thing. He was the one playing Kang.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
But my main issue is here, we haven't seen Doom in anything, and there is zero setup for this character in general. There's been no mention, minus the post-credit scene of Fantastic Four, which even then, we have zero backstory between Doom and the Fantastic Four like we have in the past original Fantastic Four movies. And even though you may not realize it, in the Infinity Saga, we had build-up for Thanos. We saw him at the end of the first Avengers movie, which was back in 2012, which led for 6 to 7 years of build. Oh my god. 6 years! But this led up to years of build-up, with Thanos also being in post-credit scenes such as Age of Ultron. He was in Guardians of the Galaxy, straight up, and we have setup of him being Gamora's father and stuff like that. And on top of that, we have the build-up of just the Infinity Stones in general, which was a massive part of the Infinity Saga. All the characters had their own separate stories going on that built off one another within this large expanded universe. And it just felt great to have everything interwoven and connected like that. And I just don't think we're ever going to see that again in the MCU. Unless they really pick up their game with this whole new, mutant saga thing that they're going to be doing, which we'll see. Now, my other major issue with this movie is what on earth is this group going to do against Doom, bro? I'm sorry, the new Avengers can't do It's basically a team of people with guns and a little bit of strength. These motherfuckers are struggling to hold up a rock. I do like that movie, though. But bro, even Thor is disappointed with this group. Have you seen that trailer? He's looking around like, I have had a stronger team against weaker foes. God damn. And I'm sorry, they have a fresh cut Thor for no reason, by the way. Don't know why they're doing that. Get absolutely slammed. And we have all the strongest Avengers on team Doom. Which, by the way, if you don't know, if you haven't seen those photos or whatever of, what's it called, Doom's Legion or something like that, basically, it's rumored that it's Wanda, Doctor Strange, and that lady at the end of Doctor Strange. I forget her name because we haven't seen her since. But, this team is cooked. What are they gonna do? And I'm yes, don't get me wrong. We supposedly have the X-Men in this movie from the Foxverse or something like that. But I really don't anticipate them being in this movie for long other than just nostalgia bait. But, let's be so for real. What on earth is Ant-Man or this Falcon Captain America gonna do against Doom? I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. You know what? They do have Bob, which is, once again, from Thunderbolts. He's Sentry. But also, he can't even control his own powers, and I would love to see Sentry do some absolute against Doom here, but let's be real, I'm gonna keep my expectations low on that one. Now listen, there is tons of potential for this to be an actually good movie, honestly. But if we're being honest, it's going to be built entirely off of nostalgia. Like, there's no way that out of all actors, we choose to bring back Robert Downey Jr. as Doom. There must have been a better actor out there, because in my opinion, that casting is literally just to bring audiences back. Like, it feels like we're spitting on the end of Tony Stark, which we had that whole saga with. Why are we bringing him back as Doom? I'm sure they have a reason, but I don't think I'm gonna like it. What this movie just feels like to me is that it's just gonna be filling theaters with fans based off of nostalgia, with the X-Men, rumored Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, which I'm excited to see him, I can't lie. But they're gonna kill him. But like, let me tell you, it's gonna work. This movie's gonna break box office numbers, I bet. It's probably gonna pass the new Spider-Man, probably Endgame, just because of all this nostalgia bait. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be in there day 1 and day 2 and day 3 in that theater because, yeah, obviously I want to go see this because it has a bunch of characters from my childhood in it. But plenty of these characters have had their own endings in their own films and everything like that. And it just feels like such a waste to bring all of these people back just for this nostalgia bait of a movie. And it probably won't give us that great of a story. Unless it does, then maybe, but I don't see that happening. Now, don't get me wrong, once again, I genuinely hope that they prove me wrong here, because that second trailer was really good, even though it does just have a lot of like the characters kind of sitting around while there's some monologue, which is fine. But you genuinely can't change my mind that this movie will just be nostalgic slop. But hey, I'll eat that nostalgic slop up. What can I say? Although we will most likely be losing a good story, which is sad to see. All in all, I'm very excited for this movie. I am. I just don't think they're going to achieve what they want to do with it. And we'll see how the movie goes in December. I am looking forward to seeing it. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for sticking around with me here. If you like this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Follow my letterbox here. And yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. I hope.